Here's an example of a projectile motion problem. We'll use the table to sort out the information and fill in what we know, and then use the equations that are available to us to solve the unknowns. A ball rolls off a table moving 2 meters per second. The table is 1.8 meters high. How far will the ball land from the table? Alright, so we see here 2 meters per second is its velocity coming off the table. That means that's its initial horizontal velocity, 2 meters per second. Since we know velocity is constant horizontally, that will be the final velocity of the ball, horizontally speaking. We're just saying that it's not going to change its speed horizontally while it's in the air. The table is 1.8 meters high, which means it's going to change its position minus 1.8 meters vertically. It's going to drop 1.8 meters. Now that's all the information given, but we know that acceleration vertically is minus 9.8 meters per second squared. I know the acceleration horizontally is 0. It's going at a constant velocity. I want to find out delta x, which is the horizontal change in position. And I know that the ball, when it comes off the table, vertically speaking, its initial velocity is 0 meters per second. It is not dropping down yet, just as it leaves the table. And I do not know the vertical final velocity, nor do I know the time it's in the air. I want to know how far the ball lands from the table. That's delta x. And that's horizontal, that's constant velocity motion, so this relationship would solve it for me. I do know the velocity horizontally is 2 meters per second, but I don't know the time, so I am not going to be able to figure out the change in position, so I'll have to use the vertical motion information to get time. We know the change in position in y, that's how far it's dropping off the table. We know the initial y velocity, and we know the y acceleration, the vertical acceleration I should say. 3 things, and we want to find out the time. So I need an equation that has those 4 things in it, and knowing 3 of them I can figure out the unknown time, and there it is right there. Delta y equals 1/2 at squared, and I want to solve for time. So using information about the vertical motion of the ball, I figured out how long it's in the air. But remember, I want to figure out how far it's going to go, so I need to plug the time in there. So the velocity, 2 meters per second, that it keeps constantly as it moves horizontally, times 0.61 seconds, and that's going to equal 1.22 meters. So delta x, how far it goes from the table, is 1.22 meters.